Hello, it's Saturday the 17th of November, and in this video I'm looking at the latest Thunderball result, and I'm going to analyse it and see if I can make some predictions for tonight's draw. Now, this is my ticket from last night. I only got two numbers. These were the winning numbers. The machine used was Excalibur 5, set of balls 8, and nobody won the jackpot. And this is my analysis of the winning numbers. So these are all the coincidences. So as you can see, main number 6 was most overdue for its frequency with the current trend, which is machines 5 and 6 and sets of balls 5, 6, 7 and 8. That's why I picked number 6. And main number 21 was most frequent with the current trend machines and sets of balls as well. So that's why I picked 21. And that number did come out. And so I got two numbers, but you don't get anything for two numbers on that. So Thunderball number 13 was most overdue for its frequency with number 6 and machine 5 and set of balls 8. So it could have been predicted from that. And I noticed that with the current trend machines, with machines 5 and 6, 6 and 8 are most frequent together, and also with machine 5 and set of balls 8, well, with machine 5 and all sets of balls are with set of balls 8 and all machines, main number 8 was most overdue for its frequency as well. So it's interesting that both these numbers were most overdue for the frequencies in different ways, and they're also most frequent with each other in machine 5. So a bit of a coincidence that they both came out together. And also they were both most overdue with number 13. 6 was most overdue with 13 when looking at all machines and sets of balls, and number 8 was most overdue when just looking at machines 5 and 6. So a bit of a coincidence that these numbers came out together. Could have possibly been predicted from that. And also main number 8 was most overdue with the 4 sets of balls and all machines that are in use at the moment. So 21 could have been predicted from that, and also 35 was most frequent with the 4 sets of balls that are in use at the moment and machine 5. Also most frequent with 8 and 6, and Thunderball 13 was most overdue for its frequency with that one as well. So these numbers pointed to each other, and also they were outstanding when looking at machine 5 and set of balls 8. And so the machine, the set of balls that was used, the numbers that came out, they were all kind of pointing to each other. The only one that none of the other numbers pointed to was number 26, but main number 6 was most overdue for its frequency with that and the current trend machines. And if we narrowed that down to set of balls 8, then we'd see main number 21 was most overdue for its frequency with 26. So I'll show you what these numbers relate to then. So this is the chart for all machines and sets of balls. Main numbers on the left, Thunderball numbers on the right. And so we're looking at this one. So if we narrow it down to the current trend machines, machines 5 and 6, then we should see main number 6 most overdue for its frequency on this chart. Oh wait a minute, I've done that wrong. Right, so this is the chart for the current trend machines and all sets of balls. So you can see there that on the main number side, if we measure the vertical component and the horizontal component of each number and multiply those together to get an area, and if we did that for every number, then we'd find that the area for number 6 is the largest area. So that's what made it most overdue for its frequency. So it stood out in that way. That's why I picked it, and it came out, so that was good. And then looking at the chart for numbers paired with number 6 and machines 5 and 6, then that's where you can see main number 8 most frequent with that one. So that stood out as well. So now, so we just looked at this one, now we're looking at this one, and if we narrow that down to machine 5 and the current trend sets of balls, so we know what the current trend sets of balls are by looking at the recent draw history. So you can see machines 5 and 6, sets of balls 5, 6, 7 and 8, they're the ones that are in use at the moment. So I'll just narrow that down. See, with machine 5 and all sets of balls, you can see that main number 8 is most frequent with main number 6 on that chart as well. So if I narrow that down to the current trend then on the sets of balls, so we're just looking at the draws where either set 5, set 6, 7 or 8 have been used. So we're only looking at those draws. Then the x-axis counts how many times these numbers have occurred with number 6, and the y-axis shows what draw the numbers last occurred in. So on the chart you can see main number 8 again most frequent with number 6, and factor in the vertical and horizontal components of the Thunderball numbers. 13 has the largest area, which means it's most overdue for its frequency to occur with main number 6. So that stood out in that way. So those numbers could have been predicted from that. So that's that one. Another interesting one to look at is the current trend machines and sets of balls. So that would be machines 5 and 6, sets of balls 5, 6, 7 and 8. And when it updates, it's frozen at the minute. So now we're looking at this one. So we won't see anything outstanding on this when it finally wakes up. Why is it going so slow? Could be because there's 10 million equations. Come on, unfreeze then. What is going on? God, this is ridiculously slow. Oh, it's finally calculating the process. Right, come on. Oh, now it's done it. Right. Finally. So, interestingly enough, main number 8 is still most frequent on that chart with number 6. But anyway, if we look at all the numbers individually, not just the draws where number 6 has been drawn, then now finally you can see that on this chart main number 6 is most overdue for its frequency, and 21 is most frequent on that chart. So those two numbers stood out, and those are the two that I got. So the only one I haven't figured out how it stood out is 26. So I'll have a look at the chart then for numbers paired with 26. So going on the current trend, that's what it looks like on that. If we narrow it down to machine 5, let's see where the winning numbers were. So 21 most frequent, and the other numbers just in the middle. We narrow that down to set of balls 8 as well. Then we're only looking at 4 draws, so not enough to go on there. But if we look at all machines and sets of balls, so every draw where 26 has been drawn since the numbers went up to 39 from 35, then the chart looks like this, and this is where the winning numbers were on that chart. So looking at that, I would guess that 26 probably stands out with 35 and 6. Or maybe not. Main number 8 does though. But I noticed that 26 is on the edge of that chart. That's where the winning numbers were. So I haven't found a way that 26 stands out yet, but I'm guessing that it might stand out with 2 of the other numbers paired together or something like that. But anyway, I think that that's enough for me analysis. So out of these numbers that I picked, I'm going to pick some different numbers then for tonight's draw. I might change my choice of numbers. So first I'm just going to have a look at the chart for all machines and sets of balls. So that looks like this. So those are the main numbers, those are the Thunderball numbers. You can see why I picked Thunderball number 11, because it's most overdue for its frequency. So I'm going to keep that one. And let's just see what numbers stand out with Thunderball number 11. So this is a chart for main numbers that have come out with number 11. So on this chart you can see that main number 8 stands out because it's most overdue. The one that's most overdue for its frequency is number 19. The most frequent one is 32. So maybe I will change from 6 to 8 because it's most overdue with 11. Thunderball 11, that is. And I might change 21 as well, now that it's come out in the last draw. So let's have a look on the analyzer then to see what stands out at the moment. I noticed that after the draw has occurred, if you do an analysis for the same numbers as though they were occurring a second time, it always goes green. They all turn out most frequent. It's interesting that. I don't know why that is. But anyway, if I change my numbers so that I've got number 8 instead of 6, keeping number 10, keeping main number 13, keeping main number 30, Thunderball 11, so I'm not going to assume which machine or set of balls it's going to be in the next draw, because I don't know yet. Right, so let's get rid of 21. So these are all the numbers that stand out at the moment. On the main chart it's number 30, which is why I'm picking that number. Main number 5 is most overdue, so is Thunderball number 10. So I noticed 22 is most frequent with 10 and machine 5 and 6. So I might change 21 to 22 for that reason. And it's also most overdue for its frequency with 13 and the current trend. So those are my numbers. However, I might change Thunderball 11 for Thunderball number 10, because 11 stands out in 3 ways, but Thunderball number 10 stands out in 5 ways. So maybe Thunderball number 10. So let's see what coincidences would occur if those numbers came out. So there'd be a lot of coincidences on the main charts, but not as many between the individual numbers. But we get more coincidences if I pick Thunderball 11 instead. So maybe I'll go for that one instead of 10, because that looks better. So I'm going to buy a ticket with these numbers on, and that's my prediction for tonight's draw, and that's the end of the video. So good luck with that, good luck in tonight's draw, bye for now.